Hello guys, welcome back. Last time I made furnaces work, so that worked really well. Next time, or this time I guess, I'm going to ideally fix these biome boundaries. As you can see, um, there's this big issue where there's just a wall here as in a boundary between the forest and mountain biomes, which is not supposed to exist. And then so you go down to the lower parts of the forest, and then there's just this big drop off. So yeah, I'm going to fix those issues by making intermediate biome regions in between them that kind of blend it together to make it a little more, to make it work a little better, I suppose. So yeah, so I guess the reason why that works is um, I kind of, you could think of my function for the train being kind of like a sine function like this. Okay. Um, with high points for the top of the hills, low points at the bottoms of it. Let's say 0.5x is my boundary or my function for the like forest biome, and then for mountain it's like 5 sine x. And then you see like I'm just going directly from this forest to the high mountains. So I need to blend between them to make it 5, and then just blend that all the way up to 4 at or to 4, 3, 2, 1, and go just all the way. Essentially, I just need to blend between the amplitude of the mountain biomes with to the amplitude of the other types of biomes. I mean, it's not only with mountain biomes, like there's there's also similar boundaries between the like sand biomes and plains biomes and stuff. So yeah, that'll be what I work on today. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this is the world chunk script. This is what controls the height of each block. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a Boolean function um, for to figure out whether it's on a border chunk. So uh, private bool, it would be is border chunk, and then okay, so then we're going to just return false at the end. So that's going to be it's going to hit this return false, but doesn't do anything else first. So then um, if biome type equals let's see. Oh, I should, so the biome database, the biome type, all right, so that'll be a list. Okay, access biome database, biome type, mountain is wrong place. Is it world manager? Yeah, it is. Okay, so mountain is 3. So if biome type is 3, then we're going to, so this is going to be if it's in a mountain biome, then you're going to check the adjacent biomes um, for a different, for the different biome types. So then this is going to be checking mountains. So it's, never mind. So if worldma dot is it chunk grid? I think get chunk at grid position. Chunk grid position +1 chunk grid position does not equal a biome type dot mountain, then this is going to be chunk grid position dot x plus 1 and then dot y on here. That should work. Fine. Gotta make a new vector2 int. There you go. Okay. Vector2 int grid position. Yep. So we made the get chunk. Gosh. Dot biome type equals biome type dot. Okay. Is not equal to 4. Is that gonna work? Okay, that does work. Okay. So this is going to check if the biome type of each of the adjacent thing is not 4. So then we'll just have to copy and paste this another several times to get all the directions. And then we're going to do this and then just return true, essentially. Return true. Return true. Okay, so this is just gonna check each other type and then if it's not, so if we're in a mountain biome and the adjacent biome is not a mountain biome, then it's going to call it a border chunk biome. So yeah, so then we're going to have a thing to check it. Generation logic. Okay, so we're actually going to put this in a in its own method. So we're going to call it private void generate terrain. So it's called, and I think we're just then going to copy all of this regular stuff. No save data exists in chunk seed system. Blah 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 blah. Block type places block type dot air. Then I think, is that correct? Yeah. So I'm gonna cut all that out. And paste it in here, and then we're just gonna put generate terrain at the bottom of this. So generate terrain. Okay. So this is going to be okay. So actually, how this is going to need to work is it's only going to run generate terrain if it's not a border chunk. So if not is border chunk, then we will generate terrain. Okay. So now I'm going to test this. Now it's not going to do everything perfectly right now, but ideally what it should do is generate terrain normally for everything except the border of the mountains. So yeah, we should see. So okay, did this again. It's very weird. To figure out what that's doing. No reference exception is world chunk. 200 line 266. What's the issue? Luckily, it's only what I just wrote. So that works just fine. 266. Is it? Okay. It looks like world for world manager isn't working right. So we'll just say, where's it setting this? Hmm. What if I put, okay, what if I wrote world manager.instance here? And if the issue jumps to line 270, then I know I fixed that. So that's what the problem is, at least. Okay, still doesn't work, but it's still line 266. Interesting. So it does know. Um, can I? What is the object that's null? Initialize. I'm glad I checked that because I would have done a lot of work there to make sure it's not null when it actually isn't null. What is an initialize right now? Position. Great. Okay, so if that's not null, it has to be something else then. So get chunk grid position. Chunk grid position null. Is grid position? No, I don't think it could be. Okay, give me a second to try to figure this out. Okay, so after a bunch of, or not actually a bunch, it was pretty simple fix, but what was happening was all the chunks were, each chunk, how the world manager is doing it was spawning a chunk and then creating the set of blocks in that chunk. What it and like instantiating its biome type and everything, and then moving on to the next chunk to do that. What it needed to do was instantiate all the chunks and then check all their biome type, then create the biome types of blocks. So it's just the order of stuff it was doing. But yeah, I fixed it. Got it so that now if the chunk is a intermediate chunk between a mountain and something else, it does not spawn it. So now we know. Now it knows which chunks are border chunks, and I would just gotta make those border. Oh, it's a tree down there. I was just gonna make those border chunks do stuff. So next issue. Don't get border chunk. Now we do the generate terrain thing. So we're gonna say private void generate border terrain. We might actually not end up doing this because it'll have, oh, I see. Okay, I'm just going to copy and paste this whole thing in. That's probably not going to be the way to do it for now, or in the end, but this will be the cleanest way of doing it, so I don't have to rethink all the code. So we have our chunk. The altitude is going to change per, okay, where it creates column data. I'm going to generate terrain. Okay, I'm just going to say else. It's just going to generate border terrain. Generate border terrain. We're going to have to make a vector2, yeah, int integer array. So we're going to have int 2D array of two-dimensional array of integers of altitudes equals new int 16, 16. Okay, so this will be a 16 by 16 grid of arrays of block heights. So we will not need this altitude parameter here. And then, so where does altitudes? Okay, so times that'll be altitudes on x, y, z. No, just x, y, x, z. Wonderful, because this is z there. Yeah, so I think so that'll do it, except I need to set the altitudes. Okay, so I think I'm going to do this. So what I'm thinking I need to do is make a way of averaging a weighted average between the altitudes of both. It's an amplitude. I don't know why it's called an altitude, but between the amplitudes of both terrain types next to this border terrain. So I gotta think I'm gonna do that. It's gonna be weighted, so if it's closer to one side, it's more like what that side is, and if it's closer to the other side, it's more like that one. So yeah. Okay, let me grind. So this is my first test of the intermediate terrains next to just the mountains. So I don't know if it'll work, but we'll see. I can way over there and wait, did that actually work? No. Clearly not quite. But like it did something. I mean, it looks kind of like it kind of started getting the idea, but not really. Is the? I think it is. Okay, a second. Something about this doesn't seem quite right. It's not loading as chunks. Okay. It's going to have some kind of Northern's exception, I think. $391. Okay, anyway, I'll work on fixing those sometime. Okay, so I thought I'd show you guys some of the debugging I'm doing. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of null reference exceptions, especially in here. So I'm going to attach this script to Unity, and there we go. And then enable, and then I think what should happen is it should show me where I'm getting the null reference exception once it loads. And then I'll be able to look through each variable individually and see which one is null, and then fix it from there. So, okay. Nothing is going too badly right now. Okay, I mean, it's running it. these look like they're what our intermediate chunks are supposed to be. Or not what they're supposed to be, but you get the idea. That's what they are for right now. And it's looking like it's sort of working right. Only it's not quite. It's not nearly as high as it should be. Oh, we did get something. Where did that happen? I don't know. Okay, that's an annoying little thing. Okay, here's what we're gonna do now. What happened there? Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna restart. This time I'm gonna put breakpoints in the code every time it checks one, just to make sure everything is returning correctly. And then the other one, is also returning null at this one sometimes. So I'm just gonna, well, I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna go. We're gonna put it there. There we go. I'll try that. So attach that to Unity, and then we should start figuring out where the what's returning null. Issue is okay. World manager. Okay. Biome type. 3 is not. Oh. So so it did check a border chunk there. Okay, so I'll continue. And then it does another one. Checks another border chunk. Good. Works. Oh, okay. Let me get this one. So after checking 2 chunks that were border chunks, now we're getting, then we're generating terrain. Interesting. So yeah, oh, adjacent amps is null. So I'm gonna go F10, click that, then it's a 40000. Okay. Do you have to set them? I don't think so. Working on your game? Yep. Okay. Now this is a tar. Okay. 4444 on I. So I is 0 right now. World manager. Okay, so world manager is that. Biome data. This entire thing is stats. Nice. And then on this one, biome type is 2, so stats on 2. Dot altitude is 1. So then this, it's 1. Okay, that worked. Okay, so now we're going to check this. 0, 0. And 0, 5, 5. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. This is so weird. This is boggling my mind. I have no idea where the error is coming in. Whenever I ask this GitHub Copilot chat thing, it just tells me to like check it to make sure it's not null before doing it. That's not the issue. I want it to not be null. Anyway, I'll do some more debugging and see if I can get it working. Okay, so after working, I finally solved the reference exceptions. seems to be. I got it to work like this. Um, so yeah, it's not the math isn't quite right, but it's it's still pretty good. Like the bottoms are too low, and the tops are also too low. So I have to try to figure out why that is. I know it's kind of right because yeah, these are next to the ocean biome, and they're treating it normally. It's one annoying issue is it's stopping me on every chunk border for a second to yeah, but yeah, it just like tanks the frame rate whenever I do that. But yeah, so I'll next thing is gonna be to try to figure out why, or try to fix this issue here. I've decided I'm going to take a whole new approach to this intermediate biome thing that I've been doing before. So originally what I've been doing is I've been doing the terrain, the heights for all the different blocks as um, as like based on its own biome type. So obviously each chunk is going to have its own biome type. What I'm going to do for the height of the terrain now is I am going to make it like sample the adjacent chunks for that. So like what if it's in the middle of 4 chunks, and then the middle one's going to like it's going to look at the then it's going to be the same one. So it's let's say if it has one different type of biome next to it, then it's going to look at that and take that into account. So it's going to be a bunch of I'm going to have to change up the entire script basically, but I think it's going to work a lot better in the end. So anyhow. So this is going to be the very first test of my new system of doing this since since making the adjustment for sampling adjacent biome types. So I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll just have to see. And it doesn't look like it works, but that definitely looks like it really doesn't work. Okay. Man, so hoping that would work. Okay, well, I'll have to figure out why that is. Okay, so a bunch of code later, I have nothing that works. Never mind, I'll go try to figure out what the issue is, I guess. 386. So essentially, I just tried redoing a bunch of the code because I didn't know if it would work or not. Export because I mean what I was doing wasn't working. So I rewrote the entire. I mean, I essentially rewrote the entire system for intermediate biomes. That I still didn't really do anything, but well, I guess we have to see still. It's 386. It's not getting that. Okay, well, I'll check in if I fix it. Okay, here's another attempt. I just fixed it to create a little system for making all the oh, there we go. Look at that. So I just created a system for making the biome type separately. That's because what was happening was it didn't know what type of biome it was because it couldn't look at the adjacent biomes because the adjacent biomes didn't exist. So I just fixed that to make them exist. And it looks like we don't have mountains anywhere. Where are the mountains supposed to be? I think they're supposed to be over here. Oh, this is interesting. So it looks like mountains tried to exist but didn't. I don't know what's over here, but um, nothing, I guess. I don't know. Why the heck? Okay, that's weird. That's weird. Okay, so it looks like I'm creating the dictionary in the wrong at the wrong time. So yeah, so it'll have to. So I guess I can show you what I did. I created a dictionary here to store all the different biome types. So instead of looking for adjacent biomes that don't exist, it's just going to look it up in this list. I think the issue was found probably um, yeah, it'll be world chunk line 49. And that's right here, biome type. Yeah, so it doesn't exist. So we're initializing this before the thing exists, which shouldn't happen. Okay. This is so strange. Okay, I'll figure it out. One more try. Just made a simple addition mistake. Still doesn't look too promising, unfortunately, but might as well just go over that to check. I mean, it's sloping up, which is really good, promising. And I think I'm usually in mountains at this point, so I don't know. Except it's looking like we will have. Yeah, that's not looking good. Okay. Okay. Well, issue is I said I already did that. Key not found exception. What? Argument exception. I did that. Hmm. Oh, actually, did I? don't think I did. Okay, so generate border terrain. No, it's down here. And is border chunk. That's why. Okay, so it's so I didn't so I made this thing to check. Oh gosh, what am I doing? This entire is border chunk method is entirely wrong, which is causing a lot of problems. So if biome type equals 3, that's right. But then so I made this entire thing for making a better way of checking it. So if the world manager dot so it's chunk. Actually, we need to keep this new. That's important. I'm gonna copy that, but then world manager dot biome. I don't know, dot biome type list. I think is that right? Dot yeah biome type list on. There we go. So if that does not equal 3, there we go. So this is basically, so this is what it needs to be. I totally screwed that up, so I'll just copy this whole thing, I guess, and fix it all. Okay. Well, I hope that works now. I don't know if it will, but it might. So I have a tree in the way. I can't see anything. At least generate new terrain as I go. I don't know. Is this even the right direction? I don't know. Hopefully. I don't like walking on this steep terrain. Just like in real life, I guess that's a good thing. I don't like walking uphill. You have to jump everywhere you get, and yeah. See, you walk, and you gotta wait for yourself to fall down, and it's still not doing that. Okay. Still getting some kind of exception, so did I save it? I think I totally did. It's already been added. World Manager 84. World Manager line 84. What is that doing? Huh? It should not. How does this work? Okay, well, anyway, I'll try to fix that. See you later. Okay, one more test. I think I might have gotten it working. I fixed. I don't know. I tried to fix it. It doesn't look like it's working. Okay. Is it? You still have the uphill slope. Is it generating terrain as I go? I can't tell. Just give me a second. Get over this hill. It is not looking like. Wait. Okay, so it is. So it is generating terrain as I go, but for some reason we don't have any mountains. Yeah, that's a step. There should be mountains here. Okay, I don't know why that's happening, but I will try to fix that, and I will get back to you when I fix it. Okay, it's another test. This one I'm confident will work. I don't know if I should be this confident, but I think it'll work. Okay, so it looks like this is the direction from the past. So you can go down there, and there are mountains over here. Doesn't look like it. Dang it, dude. Still no mountains that exist. Okay, well, I'm gonna check to see if these things. Are there anything that's not biome type 2? It's all 2. Okay. I guess I didn't fix it. Okay, this is another test. I don't know if it's gonna work. I changed one variable. I was passing in the wrong variable, so it might work. Oh, that's the other way. Look at that. We have um there's some desert over there. Let's look, and we have mountains. Now here's the actual thing. I don't know if it's gonna work. We need to go look to see if there's blended terrain between the mountains and the forest. Please have where it doesn't look like it worked. There's not blended terrain between the mountains and the forests. In fact, there is no terrain between the mountains and the forests. Ugh, I'm just jumping this hole. Whee. Okay. Well, what kind of error? No reference exception. World chunk. It says generate border terrain in world chunk line 152. That's where it's null. So border chunk or world chunk and generate border terrain in line 152 float north am equals stats get. No, this isn't what. Okay, this is another thing I screwed up. Okay, the altitude instead. Um, we don't have that. So in the world manager, there is a dictionary of biome type list. So we're actually going to change this to work differently. World manager dot biome type list. Okay. So it's going to be world manager dot biome type list on chunk grid position. So that's what I need to do for everything. I just forgot to implement it here. So we're going to just copy the stats to the dot altitude. You know what? I can just wait. No, it's you have to make. Never mind. So you have to be has to be a new vector2 int. It's got to be y plus 1. So vector2 int chunk grid position dot x chunk grid position dot y plus 1. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to work. I'm just going to check it to see if now the error is at line 153. That means I fixed that error. It will give me an error at either of the two lines. I hope it's 153 because that means I fixed it and I can just implement that change for the rest of them. Okay, we have an error. It is at argument out of range exception. That is unexpected. Where am I getting this? World chunk 154? That's absurd. What's it? This one? That is not what I expected at all. Okay, I'm just going to copy this, paste it here, and then the next one. I'll just paste it in just like so this is going to be x minus 1, and this is y then, and then I'm just put it here, and then the y is going to be next. I'll do x. But I guess right. These should be x minus 1. I don't know. Is that right? I think that's right. So it's positive. Positive x is right. I thought. Yeah, that's. We'll test that again, see if that works. It might not. We'll see. Don't take a while, let's be honest, but never know. Something did something. It looks like we have floating mountains. We could check them out. Why, pray tell, do we have floating mountains? Is this... Now this is crazy. Oh. I think it's working, kind of. So if I was to climb up, I think the issue is that it's just not rendering. What if I... Okay. So what if I zoom So these are mountains. I think what's happening is it's generating it, but it's just like, so it's generating the terrain in there, but it's just not rendering it or rendering it on the wrong side or something like that. So if I zoom down here and look up, I was gonna think you should see stuff, but you don't. Okay. Oh, we have null reference exceptions. Line 156 of world chunk. Okay, so then we just um if stat, so it's just it looks like with this. Okay, okay, so that's okay, right. So I'll just this onto this also. And we're also get paste, paste. Okay, sorry. So one minus one for south. West is minus one, and east is x plus one. Okay. Now we don't have those error, or we don't. I changed it to use my biome type list from the other one. Um, I don't know if I explained what that does. It just calculates all the biome types separately from the actual biomes, and stores them in the world manager. So that's gonna just bypass the step of trying to look for loaded adjacent chunks that possibly don't exist. Okay, looks like it still doesn't quite work. Looks like that worked even more badly. You know what? You know what the issue might be? Might it just be because I switched the east and west? So we know what's our error? Argument out of range, same thing we usually have that doesn't, I don't know what that error is. Okay, I'm gonna switch the east and west back because that might be the error. And then, okay, because I don't know why that would be the error, but it might be the error. So we'll see. Um, yeah, because I wrote it all, assuming that one thing. So nope, it didn't work. This is so strange. If I walk away and go back to it, nah, I kind of doubt that would work. Actually, what would be a good thing would be to check if the chunks exist. Okay, so yeah, this is weird. I'm just gonna drive this way. What? This is weird. So it looks like it kind of worked, but it didn't really. So you can like, is this mountain? It might be mountain. Okay, actually what I'm gonna check now, see if those, what am I doing out here? Oh, don't. Yeah, we are missing chunks. Okay, I'm gonna just look to see if all these chunks exist, which they don't, unfortunately. Well, look at this. I think that's a pretty dang good intermediate. I do, okay. No, it's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect, but it's okay. This is good. I don't know what this is, but this is good. Look at that. Little hole there, but like it just climbs up to the side of the mountain and wow. Okay, I'm gonna check to see if the chunks exist. So, second. Can't see this very well. Okay. The chunk exists. Its biome type is intermediate biome. Okay. Which is good. It just doesn't generate terrain. Or does it generate terrain? Okay, we can actually check that. So subchunk, give me like this subchunk. Does it have a mesh? doesn't have a mesh. Okay, I'm gonna go through all these to check do any of them have meshes. Is it generating a mesh? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Um, yeah, give me a second. Check all these. Okay. Okay, so that one is -1. 2, 2, 2, 2, -1. Okay. 2. -1, the intermediate. And 0, which is right. 0, 0. Wait a second. Come on. Wait, I want to. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is an intermediate, which didn't. I guess it's just the boundaries between the mountain and forest that didn't work. 3 mountain, 3 mountain, 2, 2. Okay. Yep. -1. Right. That one worked. Okay. Yep. Those work. Yeah. Weird. This is so strange. Okay. And then more. Those are also not intermediate. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. I'll do some more debugging and figure out what. Let you guys know what I figure out when I figure it out. Guys, look at this. It's like working. Kind of. So it is blending nice. I made the got us the things reappear, or the middle chunks reappear. All the trees disappeared. That's an issue. I'll fix that in a second. Um, but yeah, I mean this is huge. There's still some issues like the boundaries. Like this is a chunk boundary, and like this stuff like this. My least favorite hole in the world is still there. Look at that right here. Meh. But for the most part, this is really working. Like, just look at that. It's just rising straight up. There is no huge wall. It's just going straight up to it. There's stuff like this where it's still like not working exactly right. But I mean, I think that can just be fixed with a little math tweak. So I'm gonna try to do that now. And also, I'm gonna try to put the trees back. Um, yeah, effective biotype is less than 0. It is 0. Hmm. Okay. Well, I think I'll also try to do the intermediate chunk generate bar train. There we go. Inverse look 15F. We're gonna make it 16, and make those 16s. Okay, I don't know if that'll make much of a difference, but it might. Just given values that are a little closer, that might have fixed the little holes and slight imperfections. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, still looks like it's so not quite. Okay. If anything, it might be a little worse, honestly. In that case, I'll fix it by going the other direction. And not exactly right, but I mean, this is hugely better than it was before. Okay, I'll try making these ones. Oh, and also Like these zeros, making them ones, making these back to 15s. Not, that's gotta be a one. That's gotta be a one. And that's gotta be a 15. Okay, try that. Okay. Still not a ton of difference. It's not looking like. But I wonder how much those values actually even matter. Still have that. No, that's higher. That's definitely higher than it was. If I make it even closer, like 2, so I make them like 2 and like 14. That's probably an awful idea. But just for the sake of experimentation, I'm going to try it out. No difference, okay. Well, not apparently right away. Okay, is the hole there? Yeah, it's still there. Okay, well, so I'll make it back to 0 and 15 because I think that's probably what it's supposed to be. So the issue is somewhere else. But I think for now that I'm gonna just call it there because for that, bringing trees back. I don't know. I'll try to do that now. See you in a minute. Well, the trees are back. It was just a silly mistake where I renamed the variable to determine how many trees there would be, and then it just reset all of that for each biome to being 0. Next thing I'm going to do is make it so that it blends like the rock and dirt blocks. So it blends the height nicely now. Next thing is, well, actually I'm going to make it blend not only with mountains, and also I'm going to make it so that, yeah, the rock and dirt blocks kind of also blend together. So it's not just dirt and then just rocks. Anyhow, I will update when I do those things. So I just took a break from normal development to make a few more things. So first of all, I made glass blocks here. I can see them all, but like here, you can see that's where a glass block is. If I jump and try to jump in them, you can't because they're there. And then the other thing is if you look out the window, you can see there's snow in the mountains now. So yeah, I did those two things. Okay, guys, I have done it. That the biomes are blended perfectly together, and it gently blends the mountain here into the hill right there. Same over here. Like, look at this. Isn't this just great? You've got some sand, but then there's also like, I don't know. I'm so happy this worked out this well. I don't know what I think it would, but it's just like there's not much grass over here, and then as you get closer to the grassy area, there's more and more grass, and then all of a sudden it's grassy. I don't know. I'm so happy with how this turned out. Same with over here with the mountains. Anyhow, that was a big project, much bigger than I intended it would be. Sorry it took so long to get this video out, but um, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.